short preparations, but good. I think Cincinnati is a really good team. Score a lot of goals. They're dangerous, dynamic, difficult to deal with. I think they're on a 7-game win streak, and so I think they're a very good team, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to play against one of the best teams within the league, and also, continue to progress and hopefully execute on some of the things we've been working on.
Thank you. Ben?
Yeah, and what are some of the things that you guys are kind of looking, like you just mentioned, to progress with? And maybe what are some areas that you liked what you saw against Montreal, but that you want to continue to develop?
Yeah, I think if you look at the games over the last 2 games, we've gotten better at breaking lines and getting forward and pushing teams further into their half and playing a little bit and being a little bit more aggressive and on the front foot. I also think that at the end of the games, you've seen that we've been trying to go for it. And I think if you look in the last game, there's opportunities in the 85th, 86th, 90th minute where we're still trying to progress the ball and fight for a goal. And so I think as we go, those are things that we've been working on. Those are things that we continue to work on, regardless of who we play our opponent is. But trying to make sure we're building the right habits and foundation.
Go ahead, another that.
Yeah, I mean, just with the 3 games in quick succession, just kind of what's the overall health of the squad looking like? And I know Sam was taken off. I'm assuming that was just to keep him fresh.
Yeah, I think in 3 games in 7 days, you have to manage minutes, but I also think rotate players. I think that we've gotten guys who were injured earlier in the season and trying to manage that, as you want to push for every single game, but as there's 34 games in a season, you have to also manage that and curb that and make sure that in our ambition to win, we're not breaking players. And so I think that we have a lot of players who can contribute, and so there'll be some rotations and management of minutes over the span of 3 games.
Okay. Rumba, one of the key factors of this team, especially under Gary's era, I'm not sure about yours, but was always that good transition defense, offense. That usually was done with the 3 backs or the 5 defenders, whatever you call that system. Is that any different when you use the system, the 4-4-2? Is it easier? Is it more collected? What do you think about that?
I think there's always transition in games, and transition is huge part of just football. And so I think we have players that can exploit that and hopefully give us good return on the transition. I think regardless of the formation you play, I think it's the commitment to get forward or either to get back that is key for transition. So it is an element that we still think is very valuable within the game, and I think there's also other elements of the game that we're trying to continue to build upon, but transition is always something that I think we are focused on, but every team is focused on.
Now, usually when you face a team that is kind of like you already the 7 straight wins, people tend to think that it's going to be more difficult. Maybe it is, I don't know, but isn't that also, like you said, a very good opportunity for this team to actually say, well, here's where we are right now. We're playing one of the best teams in the league, 2nd place in the Eastern Conference. 7 straight wins, whatever the records might say, it is a very good opportunity for Nashville.
Yeah, I think every game is a good opportunity regardless of the opponent, and I think within the league, there's a lot of good teams, and every game is difficult. I think especially going into someone's home to play is difficult, but I think it is a very good test for the guys, and I think guys are up for the challenge and want to play the best teams and the best players in the league.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at Cincinnati. Obviously, Lucho Acosta is probably among a handful of guys who can kind of single-handedly take over a game, but they also have guys like Luca Orejano and Kevin Kelsey and others who can kind of punish you. So just how do you balance focusing on Acosta and trying to keep him quiet while also realizing if we focus too much on him, there are other guys who can hurt us?
Yeah, I think they have a very balanced and dangerous team. I think it's us being aware and cautiously aware of where players are on the field and what we're doing. But I think really, again, it's trying to concentrate on us being the best version of ourselves that hopefully put us in a position that regardless of who we play against, that we are solid defensively, which I think is a staple of our club. But I think you have to be cautiously aware of all those guys on the team, for sure.
When you look at the Nashville and the actual position that there is, not only on the standings, but also in terms of performance, how far do you think this team is from actually fighting for qualifying?
I think when you look at the table, I'm not 100% certain, but I think like we're 3 points from being in a pretty good spots as well, you know. And I think that as games come and you see it through different teams in the league, you get on a run of good games and your position changes quickly. I do think that this is a very capable team. Last year had a really good spell of 10 games where we had a lot of quality, and I think that as guys are coming back from injury and also guys are getting more time to play together, that I think that they're very close to being able to push and compete for a playoff spot. And that is the hope. I mean, that's the ambition of the club, right, is to do that. And so I think that we have, and everybody in the building believes that we've got guys that can do that and push for it and have shown that they can.
Yeah, I think just taking care of business, being professional. We have amazing facilities here and a lot of things that can help us in that process. So we're taking all those things into consideration and we're preparing well and we're trying to recover as well as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tyler, obviously you missed time earlier in the year. Just kind of how has it been getting back and kind of trying to get up to speed with this team now?
Yeah, obviously when you have 3 games in a week, it's a good test for the injury, and it is an overuse injury. The pubis area is pretty, it's one that you have to be smart about and take very good care of. So we're doing everything we can to manage that, but I'm feeling good and it's progressing well.
Yeah, and you guys kind of switched back to a back four with kind of more regular wingers. Just how has that shift been, and kind of how do you feel about the new, maybe a little bit different role that you're playing?
Yeah, throughout the beginning of the season, I've been playing multiple positions, so I definitely feel the most comfortable on the wings, and that's a position I'm very familiar with. So I am enjoying playing on the wing again. And yeah, it's probably my favorite position, so I'm enjoying it.
Then from looking at the team from inside, like you guys do, and especially when you're on the pitch, how are you seeing different from this team in terms of how it's becoming maybe the team that it always was, even though the position and the standings doesn't show for that?
I think football changes quick, and we just have to keep working towards our goal. And if you win a couple games in a row, you're right back in that mix of the playoffs. And I think that's what needs to happen, and we're working very hard towards that. So we just have to keep believing and keep working hard and believing in things that will change.
Now, when you're about to face a team like Cincinnati, which is a big rival for Nashville, for whatever reason, but it's become like that, and they've been like 7 straight games winning. Does that give you an extra push to go there and try to beat them and make a statement?
Like you said, it's a rivalry, and I don't think you need an extra push. I think that's already there, and the game's already super important to us. But like I said, football changes quickly. It only takes 1 game for us to gain that momentum, and yeah, we're all up for it.
Tyler, are you an NFL guy at all? And if so, what was your reaction to the Titans signing their own Tyler Boyd?
Yeah, that's interesting. We might have to do like a collaboration or a jersey swap or something. I don't follow the NFL that much, but I definitely have heard of Tyler Boyd just because of obvious reasons. So yeah, it's cool that he's here as well, and maybe we can do like a little collaboration or something.